Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Dominic and I'd like to welcome you to a new series on the channel called Spotlight, a series in which we shine the proverbial aforementioned spotlight on lesser known characters from some of your favourite fictional worlds. Now these first series of videos will be based entirely around characters from the A Song of Ice and Fire series, perhaps better known to most as Game of Thrones. See, basically I want to use this series as a way of explaining some of the key characters and themes that aren't present on the hit HBO show for those of you who just don't have the time or inclination to read the mammoth novels, but would like an insight into the characters and the depth of Martin's world and how certain situations play out differently from their TV show counterparts. Now the first character we're going to be talking about today is none other than Sir Gerald Dane the Dark Star. Before we get into Sir Gerald, however, let's have a brief delve into the history of the esteemed House Dane. Now most of you will have heard of the name Dane because of Sir Arthur Dane, Sword of the Morning, that legendary dual-wielding badass that wrecked Ned and his friends outside the Tower of Joy until he was unceremoniously stabbed in the back by Jojen and Mira Reed's father, Howland, before being cut down by Ned himself. Now all of that information is show specific at the moment and it hasn't been confirmed in the books that is the way that the battle outside the Tower of Joy went down, but I think we can assume a similar conclusion. Now what many people don't seem to realise is that House Dane of Starfall is actually a Dornish house, sworn to House Martell and the Dornish princes. Now the legendary Sir Arthur Dane, whom we just spoke about and I may do a video on at some later stage, was often referred to as the Sword of the Morning. The Sword of the Morning is a title given to a knight of House Dane that is deemed worthy of wielding the great sword Dorn, said to have been forged in the heart of a fallen star. Unlike most Dornishmen, the Danes are fair-skinned, with hair that ranges from pale blonde to black, and with eyes that can be dark blue or even the same deep purple of the Valyrians. Now the Danes are an old house said to stretch back some 10,000 years, and there is quite a bit of their history noted down in the lore that I won't get into now, but in recent events it should be noted that they remained faithful to the Targaryens during Robert's War, known as the War of the Usurper. Their current lord is Edric Dane, who is currently AWOL in the books and is the nephew to Sir Arthur Dane, who was by far the most famous of that house, and that it was Arthur's sister Ashara Dane that was long believed to be the mother of Ned Stark's bastard, Jon Snow. So now let's get into the subject of Sir Gerald Dane the Dark Star. Now Sir Gerald Dane is the head of the Knights of House Dane of High Hermitage, a castle in Dorne. It should be known that the High Hermitage Danes are a cadet branch to the Starfall Danes and that their arms and words are yet to be revealed in the books. So for the purpose of this video I'll just be using the arms of the main house, which is a sword and a falling star on a lavender background. Sir Gerald Dane is described as having an aquiline nose, high cheekbones and a strong jaw. He is also said to have hair of silver with a streak of black and eyes that look black but upon closer inspection are in fact purple, dark and angry. Arianne Martell regards Sir Gerald Dane as the most handsome man in Dorne, thinking to herself that he would make a worthy consort and that our children would be as beautiful as dragon lords, but she also thinks him to have a cruel mouth and a crueler tongue. Now we first meet Sir Gerald Dane in the book A Feast for Crows, in which Arianne Martell, eldest daughter of Prince Doran Martell and heiress to Sunspear, recruits him to aid her in her scheme to crown Myrcella Baratheon as Queen of the Seven Kingdoms in order to initiate a war between the crown and her people so that she might enforce Dornish law whereby the older sister inherits over the younger brother. Although Arianne is in fact Doran's eldest child, she has grown anxious that her father is conspiring to instead place her younger brother Quentyn on the Sunspear throne after learning that her brother has travelled across the Narrow Sea in secret and may have hired the Golden Company to aid in the dispossession of her birthright. Now Sir Gerald Dane has decided to join Arianne's guard, although he makes for a less than trustworthy ally. He belittles Arianne's plans, saying, "Crowning the Lannister girl is a hollow gesture. She will never sit the Iron Throne, nor will you get the war you want. The lion is not so easily provoked." He also alludes to simply killing Myrcella, drawing his sword and saying, "This is how you start a war, not with the crown of gold, but with a blade of steel." Arianne rebukes his suggestion, however, believing herself to be no murderer of children. Now, needless to say, Arianne Martell's plan goes wrong pretty much immediately when her band of co-conspirators are seemingly betrayed as they are met at their destination by Aereo Hotah, captain of Prince Doran's guard and a dozen of his guardsmen. Arianne decides to yield to avoid any needless bloodshed. However, her secret paramour and Kingsguard member Sir Eris Oakheart charges against Aereo Hotah, where he is subsequently decapitated after being shot with crossbows. Now for some reason in the frenzy, Sir Gerald Dane attacks Princess Myrcella in an attempt to murder her, but instead the Dark Star only manages to wound the princess, cutting off an ear and scarring her face. He then manages to flee and escape Hota's men. Now at this point in the books, the Dark Star Sir Gerald Dane is currently on the run for his crimes, and in pursuit of him are the Kingsguard member Sir Balon Swan and the bastard daughter of Oberyn Martell, Obara Sand, eldest of the Sand Snakes. At the behest of Arianne Martell, Princess Marcella also laid the blame of Sir Eris Oakheart's death at the feet of the Dark Star. And that is where we leave off with the Dark Star in the current story. He is mentioned by Arianne in one of the pre-released POV chapters for The Winds of Winter, in which she laments her association with him, thinking with one stroke of his sword he had changed her botched plot into something foul and bloody. Will Sir Gerald Dane be brought to justice? Well, I think we'll have to wait until winter comes to find out. And that's it for this first episode of Spotlight. Thank you so much for watching. This has been a joy to make, and there will be more on the way, released each and every Friday. Please do hit the like button down below if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe to the channel for more content. It really will help the channel to grow and would be much appreciated. Thank you and goodbye.